And I owe it to Maya because she's the one that helped me do it. She read a whole book for me on depersonalization because I can't fucking read. I'm depersonalized. Like, I'm not reading shit. And she found out what I needed to do and how to do it. And I did it, and it worked. If you had an opportunity to change your username / brand, what would it be? I wouldn't. I wouldn't. The thing is that can be scary with brands, especially on Twitch, is this. You potentially can get yourself into a brand state where you're not long-term. A lot of people, I will never name names, are not long-term friendly on the website of Twitch. I truly do believe that I am very long-term. Whether it's my shows or who I am, it's something that I could be for at least the foreseeable future. When there's a lot of times where people do a brand, whether it's to be toxic, annoying, or anything, and it's not long-term. Like, I love this guy. He was one of my favorite streamers of all time. Ice Poseidon is an example of someone who was not a long-term brand that made sense. He was someone that was a firework that blew up, but it's not a long-term thing. It never was. It couldn't be. He couldn't do that for 10 years and be still spamming tryhard and getting, you know, the donations he got and the community he had. It wasn't a long-term thing. It never could be. I truly do believe that what I have is very long-term. Whether it's my shows. Shows have been going on for 20, 30, 40 years. My brand, who I am, which is just this dumb idiot on the internet. You could be 40 years old and be a dumb idiot. You know what I mean? Ask Swifty. Like, there's plenty of people who could be that, and I could be that as well. So, I really wouldn't change much. Now, for my username, no. I love my username. I think it's good. It's quick and easy to remember. A lot of times, usernames are not easy to remember. Like, for example, what's an easy name to remember of a streamer? Ludwig. Very simple name. XQC. So easy to remember. Not hard to understand at all. Here's a tip for anyone that wants to be a streamer. Never put a number in your name ever. And make your name very simple. Maya. It's just that simple. Ninja, you know? It's usually 2 syllables. Is that it? Clap, clap, ninja, E-Rob. Something like that. You want it to be nice and short and sweet, but I would not change mizkif for the world. I love my username, and I do think it's really nice. I actually had the name when I was 7. No, I was 9. I was 9, I played World of Warcraft. I was called Miz as a child, right? And my brother was called Miz, but I was called Little Miz. So I was gonna call myself, I was known as Miz Kid on the Call of Duty lobby. Pretty cringe, really bad name. So I tried to type Miz Kid, but I typed, the D is right next to the F, so I'm an idiot, and I typed F. So I clicked mizkif, and I didn't realize this until I was like level 10, and I was about to leave Tetrasil. So I was about to leave, and all of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck, I'm mizkif, and I'm like, forget it. So I just kept it. And that's really how mizkif started. Me fucking up, who would have thought? How often do you get burnt out by streaming? I don't really get burnt out often, because sometimes I get low. I'm not gonna say I don't have low moments where I don't want to be streaming, but then like 30 minutes later, I will want to stream because I want attention. I crave attention. It's what I've done my whole life. I love attention. I love when people are looking at me. I love when people are noticing me. I don't know what reason why, but it's the truth. I love it, so it's very hard for me to get burnt out of not getting that almost dopamine rush of people talking in my chat or talking about me. I would say the last time I got burnt out was probably a year and a half ago. And it was when Maya was a lot of my content. And I'm sure a lot of you remember that. Some of you may not. I farmed Maya. Now, when I say I farmed Maya, I mean 9 out of 10 YouTube videos were Maya. Most of my community was talking about Maya. Most of my life was trying to get Maya into doing streams with me that were fucking cringe. I was burnt out then. It's not what I ever wanted to do. It's not what I ever wanted to be, is to be reliant on somebody else for content. But that kind of faded, because the reality is, it's not a long-lasting thing, girlfriend-boyfriend content. It got stale. How many times can I bother Maya? It gets stale. It got boring, it got overplayed, repetition came into play, and I stopped. I almost told my editor, I'm like, I'm not doing this. And I really felt burnt out in streaming at that point because I felt like there was no avenue I could really go. I'm not good at video games. I'm not really good at anything. So what avenue do I have? And then I was playing Super Mario Galaxy 2 one night, and people were making fun of my viewership. So there's this guy named Willpower King, and he came into my life here. So I'm playing Super Mario Galaxy 2, and this guy just starts going off on me. Like, shitting on me. Look at this.
Imagine being a loner and not being invited to play games with Hassan and XQC. Drop the weird champ ego and you might have real friends.
There's 12 minutes of this guy just shitting on me like this. For 12 fucking minutes. He mutilated my existence and made me feel like shit. I didn't really know what to do, and I felt like crap. So I actually got in a call with the guy, and turns out he just eats TV dinners all day and talks a lot of shit and spends a majority of his day donating and shitting on everyone. And I felt very lost because I had like 4,000 viewers and I was averaging like 6,000. My viewership was dropping. And I didn't really know what to do. I wasn't really a variety streamer. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my career, and I felt like it was kind of almost ending. I was very burnt out at that moment. But he actually harassed me. Mitch Jones came in my chat, I think, and then Mitch came over, and we played Super Mario 64. And when Mitch came over and we played Super Mario 64, it started the Super Mario 64 meta, and my viewership doubled within a couple weeks, and it blew up my channel. And I didn't rely on Maya for content, ever. It was all Mario. It was all gameplay. It was all me trying to get better. I stopped relying on Maya as much. And I think as you guys have noticed, as the past year and a half has gone on, I've stopped relying on Maya entirely. So no, I am not burnt out on streaming at all. I'm not burnt out. I feel much better. I just use a bunch of other girls for thumbnails, honestly, at this point. Do you do stuff intentionally on stream for YouTube, or do you just not really care what posts on YouTube? I used to only do things for YouTube. And this is back when I used to just farm Maya for content. It's all I would do, and everyone knows that's what I was doing, and it felt unauthentic to me. It felt like I almost was just using Twitch as a platform to grow my YouTube. And that is essentially what I do on Twitch, right? But there's more of an organic way to do it. I was just using Maya on stream, doing cringe stuff to try to get views, and it just didn't feel right to me. It's not who I am. And some people could do it much better than me. Like, I think Ludwig is just much better at it than I am. He is very much more a YouTube guy. He fits the YouTube narrative much more than I do. I don't fit that mold as much. So I shouldn't try to fit that mold that isn't me, you know? But now, my YouTube's actually doing insane. And it's ever since I stopped doing that shit and I started doing more of what happens to what I like, which is farming drama and watching Top Tech videos. My YouTube's never been doing better. It's absolutely incredible. And it's honestly thanks to Rosie. But, I used to do a lot more stuff on stream intentionally for YouTube. Now I don't. I still do stuff intentionally on stream for YouTube, but it can be more organic. Like this, for example, is gonna go on YouTube. Say hi to YouTube. But there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't feel like I'm just here for a YouTube video and I'm walking away, you know? When a lot of the times back in the day, I did things only to farm a YouTube video and leave. And that was it, and nothing more. And I actually hated streaming back then. What pays more, Twitch or YouTube? That's the question that someone asked. Not even comparable. Twitch. I make about $40,000 a month on YouTube. I give a lot of it back to my editors because I am very much one believing that if I give them a percentage of what the revenue is, that they will work harder and they'll make more money. And I want them to believe that we can keep doubling our viewership and that they can keep growing because it's beneficial for them. And yeah, it's a good deal. I pay them very well. I pay them very well. If they're gonna help me, just like Sinak does, you know, VC is a fucking godlike editor. Rosie's a godlike editor. Zed puts all of his effort into shit. Why not pay them? Why not? Why not give them good money? How long term is being an e-girl? Lol. Listen, Amaranth. I mean, you want my honest opinion? Amaranth, you're not going anywhere. You're good to go. All right. I think you've got fucking nowhere to go. You're good to go. You are the e-girl. You have 20,000 viewers last night licking a fucking fake ear. I think you're all right. Key reasoning for my constant growth is this. A lot of streamers, in general, they almost hide away. They don't like to try to talk to other streamers, and they're not social. And that's because a lot of people on the internet, especially gamers, are not social. They don't know women very well, and they also don't know how to talk. And they don't know how to be friends, and they're very introverted. I am not. I am very extroverted. I'm willing to go into anyone's chat and try to do anything to talk to people. And because of that, I am kind of the place where a lot of streamers will go and talk. I barely go through a stream where we don't talk to at least one other person that day, you know? Yesterday, we talked to Alinity, Amaranth, Jake, Canute. We're always having people on the stream, even on my shows. I bring on 8 people. That networking that I do is people come to my stream and they're like, oh, wow, this guy's funny. And then they follow the stream, and that's how I grow the stream. It's the more I do that, the more it piles in more viewers, and the more I go up. Does that make sense? My show is really the big thing of that, and it's the best example. I've been bringing on 8 streamers. Their communities come in and watch the stream. Some of them stay and watch forever. They're like, oh, that was a good show. Hey, this guy's pretty funny. and I'm gonna still chill here and wait. And it's the same thing for them. I don't know if you guys noticed this, Jacobake's doing a lot better. And it's because he's been coming on my stream and I've been hosting him and helping him, but he knows that. He provides content for me, he grows as a streamer. That's how it fucking works. And I'm totally down for that. It's honestly the most fun way to do Twitch, in my opinion. And I think that's what makes me stand out, is being that bridge. I like to be that. You know, I like to just have friends and talk to people and hang out and be a moron. I don't like to just be hidden away. And it's actually why I stopped playing Mario 64. Is I just didn't really feel like I had people to talk to a lot and hang out with, and it kind of got stale to me. Have you found yourself create bad habits because of streaming? No, but I've gotten anxiety from it. I never had anxiety in my life, ever. I didn't even know anxiety was really a thing. I didn't understand it because I never had it. I didn't understand what this feeling was, what this idea was of anxiety. I thought it was more mental, but it all started in TwitchCon EU. Me and Canute wrestled, but I almost got banned for it. I was told I'm getting banned. That's it. I was told I'm getting banned for 7 days for messing around at TwitchCon. Now, why did that upset me? It's because I had a fully planned out event to go to Amsterdam with E-Rob and S-Fand. And we were gonna go to Amsterdam and have the time of our lives and fuck around, but I was gonna get banned. And I felt very guilty. And all of a sudden, I started having anxiety because I didn't know if I was gonna get banned. And I literally went into Nim's house and I sat in the shower and I sat there for 3 hours and I couldn't move and I was shaking the entire time. And I never had anxiety in my entire life. I didn't know this was a thing that could possibly happen to somebody. And from there, it just got worse and worse as time went on, and I started forming a lot of anxiety. Honestly, the anxiety's kind of gone away. I don't really have anxiety. I started getting on SSRIs. I started taking like super heavy meds to get rid of the anxiety. It did work, but I always felt like there was a cotton ball in my head. But it did go away. I did feel a lot better. I don't really have anxiety anymore. I'd probably say the worst habit I have now is just buying boxes. I really don't have any bad habits that are just like inhibiting me. But yeah, that's pretty much it. What is the most money you've made altogether in a month? In the month of April, I made $500,000. Yeah. Now, keep in mind, I just started making that kind of money because as I grow on Twitch, I've grown my money, right? Last year, I was making a fraction of that, and the year before that, I was making a fraction of that. But yes, in the month of April, I made $500,000. But keep in mind, that was 18 days of the month I did sponsors. Pretty fucking bad. But yeah, I just started making that. So don't think every month since I started making that. And I didn't make as much in May, and I'm not making nearly as much in June. But that's because I did sell out like crazy. 5K will change my life, Jesus. And yeah, and that's, so I have an Excel spreadsheet, and my Excel spreadsheet, I have my goals for myself. My goals right now is to put $500,000 in each of my houses, so that way my mortgage is paid for by the people who live there. Right now, my mortgage is about $5,000 a month. I make about $5,000 a month from people who live at my house. So my house is paid for. The second house is gonna be the same way. And then I wanna have $3 million in stocks and bonds, and then I feel like I'm completely set. And at the rate I'm going, I should be completely fine in like a year. And that's why I've been trying to give back a lot more money to people that have helped me, because I know I could see the finish line in what I've always wanted, you know? I've had this Excel spreadsheet since I averaged like 200 viewers. I bought my dad a car. I don't think I've ever even said that on stream. I just bought it to him. I bought him a car, and I want to make those people around me, like friends and family, financially set, because it's not hard for me to do that, and it's why not? That's the next step in my streaming career, which is probably very soon. I don't think that I'm the only streamer that does this shit. A lot of streamers do good stuff, and they just don't really express it on and off stream. I know a lot of streamers that just help their parents financially no matter what. So yeah, I don't think I'm the only one. They do a lot of good shit. Asmin literally gives his mom his credit card every day, and she just buys random shit from him. Do you have any advice? A teenager who feels lost on where to go after high school. Think of something you actually have a passion for, and think of something you truly do love, and just go for it, man. I mean, you have nothing to lose, dude. You have nothing to lose. You're right out of high school. Try it. Try anything. You have the rest of your life. You're so young. You know, if you want to do college, try it. If you don't want to do college, it'll be there. You know, you could be 30 years old and go to college just because everyone else isn't. Do what you want. The problem that a lot of people have with doing things after high school or trying new things is the fear that their peers are going to look at them and they are going to think less of them. But I'm going to let you know that those peers do not think less of you. In fact, a lot of times they are envious of you because you are willing to try something and they are not. They're just jealous that you're willing to take risks and they're not willing to do anything and they're willing to live their mundane life. So try it, man. You don't want to live life of regrets, and you will live life if you don't try things. That's why I tried streaming. That's why I tried making YouTube videos. I said, fuck it. I said, I'm going to live a life of regrets if I just don't try these things. Because I've always wanted to be an entertainer. I've always wanted to make YouTube videos. But you know what I always did? I always deleted them. I never would post them. I always thought they weren't good enough. I always thought that it wasn't funny enough, it wasn't as entertaining, and I can't do it. And what's the point? But if you just try it and see what happens. I didn't know that E-Rob was going to watch my video. I didn't know that this was going to happen. I tried it. I said to myself, I'm going to try this, and if it doesn't work out, I know in the back of my head I tried it, and I will go do something else with my life. Who cares? But you just got to try. Next question.
I literally don't want to go.
So many people are saying yes right now. Okay, a few people are saying no. But a lot of them are saying yes. They would like to go to the beach.
I'll figure it out.
You could pick up trash at the beach. I did that recently. It was lovely.
I saw that for the Mr. Beast video.
Yeah, it was a lovely time. I got
I
attacked
could
by...
go hang out with Mr. Beast.
He's not here.
Fuck. I go hang out
I hate to break it to you.
with H3H3.
You could.
No.
Okay.
I don't know him.
Aiden Ross.
I could go hang out with Aiden Ross.
He would probably reply.
Can you imagine? I know, but can you imagine the shit that... Oh, God. People would be so annoying if I went and hung out with Aiden Ross.
Okay, we can think of more options.
But also, he's a child, and... Well, I say that like I just feel...
You're also a child.
I feel like I'm too old to hang out with Aiden Ross.
You're not old, you're just bitter.
I am a little bitter.
She's a little bitter. That's okay. Maybe... you could... I don't know what you could do. I'm out of ideas.
It's fine.
I have a paint set and a canvas. You go to the beach and do a painting stream. That's fun.
That is a good idea.
Thank you.
I'm just not gonna do it.
You are the worst. Chat, I'll take you to the beach and we'll do painting. Okay?
No, you won't. You're gonna film.
A different day. A different day we'll do that. Once I'm done filming, I actually can't do it after we're done filming because I have a very important meeting tomorrow. With a theater.
For...
Big thing. Big things. Before I tell you guys what it's for, do you think it's offensive? I put together events, right? That's what I do. Is it offensive?
Oh, this is so dumb.
What?
Are you gonna say the thing about it being on your stream?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh. Do you think it's offensive? Somebody said that I'm not a good streamer. I'm a good event planner.
Yes, that's offensive.
That's so offensive, right?
It's very offensive.
I heard that today and it genuinely hurt my feelings.
That's not true. Who said that?
Mizkif.
He said that?
Someone in his chat said it and then he agreed with them. But he like made a joke agreeing with them, but it's still like the person in the chat said that and it hurt my feelings. And it's made me think about it all day. Because I'm genuinely very insecure about my solo streams because I do think they're not that great. Because people always say they're cozy and I think that means boring.
Cozy doesn't mean boring. But I hear you. That's a really shitty thing to say. It's not true.
And so I haven't been able to stop thinking about it since since that was said, and I don't know, I like planning the events, I really, really do.
Cozy is people that are saying cozy is boring, listen, everybody wants something different from a stream, right? People say cozy is boring, like cozy's not like you're off the walls doing content, being super crazy, wild, doing crazy all the time. Some people don't want to watch streams like that. It doesn't mean that it's boring. It's just not like super high octane stream where you're just chatting. I think I do creative stuff still. You do.
I don't know. Like
a lot of really good
my
ideas.
chat decorated ornaments the other day. But it was kind of boring because I'm like, what do we talk about while I color?
I can't do art on stream anymore because I stopped talking.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah. And so I think maybe that's my problem, is I don't think it all the way through. But anyway, we're working on that. I think my next question is, you've seen Streamer of the Year. Dream was won Streamer of the Year, which is very cool. I think Dream has had a massive influence, and I think that's very cool that he won. And then Valky also won like Streamer of the Year, the Streamy Awards or something.
I don't know Dream at all.
There's I don't know him either, but he has a massive following, and
Yeah, I don't know.
I
what
think
his
he's earned
content
it. I think you could say, I think it'd be a jerk to say anybody didn't earn it. You know what I'm saying?
is. Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's any reason for that. I do think, I mean, personal opinion, I think Ludwig was snubbed, of course. I'm gonna think that. I really think Ludwig had an amazing year, and the fact that he didn't like get nominated was messed up.
There are
Even just a
people.
nomination.
There are definitely people that work harder than others that get less.
Yeah,
Nim.
yeah.
Nim deserves so much more than he has, and he works so hard. And you too.
Germa.
Like, you do, yeah, Germa. Like, there are people that do so much, and they work so hard, and they just get less. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the algorithm. I don't know if it's because other people got lucky. I don't know if it's because people don't want to see people doing crazy stuff, but it's pretty garbage.
Part of me
Doesn't make
thinks
sense.
sometimes that I have ruined my chances because of I've had so many bad moments that I think a lot of people have written me off because of that. Sometimes I just want to be like, I just want to like a tweet or something and be like, hey, if you've ever written me off, please just give me one more chance. Because I've made mistakes. I make them live all the time.
Dude, that's the hard part about being here is it's all
In the moment.
well, it's all concreted in the internet.
Yeah.
Look at even Alinity. Alinity's had like the biggest comeback ever. People love her now, but the amount of people that are still like, guys, remember when she threw her cat? Guys, remember
Yeah, it's
whatever?
crazy.
It's never gonna go away.
No. It's so sad, actually.
Same with me coming up with it. That's never gonna
Yeah,
go away.
it's never gonna go away. It gets really sad when you really think of it.
It's just a part of your history, but it did get you where you are.
Yeah.
I mean, you grew through the Raw show, you know, through your like
Moments. Smiley face.
your moments.
I will say, I'm gonna say, Streamer of the Year, those awards, the award shows that I've seen,
Chat, I said Raj because it was the Raj show at the time.
it was the Rush show. I have never really been on the Austin show. The award shows that I've seen have felt pretty deaf, like just out of touch. Like the fact that Game Awards was just like ads.
I haven't watched them.
That's all it was. But I will say this. I haven't said this formally, but I'm going to say this now. The theater I am meeting with is to host my own award show.
We will.
I've said it. It's going to be huge.
Like actually huge.
It's going to be huge. It's going to be a red carpet event, 300 streamers in person.
I don't even know. I don't know why you think 300. Dude, I don't know 300 streamers.
Oh, I do. I absolutely do. I think 300 is so. I think I'm going to be closer to 500. Yeah. And it's
500. I could barely. I have a really hard time naming 100. Get out of your mind.
Anyway, it's gonna be massive. It's gonna, in my opinion, it's gonna be the most in touch because it's gonna be categories like best Minecraft streamer, best Call of Duty streamer, best League of Legends streamer, blah blah. All chat voted, all blah blah blah. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. We're
You know
not gonna
what's
call
gonna
it
be
the
hard
shit
about
awards
that?
chat. Huh?
You know what's gonna be hard?
What?
Is like, cause if you're gonna get that many people, you're gonna get people from all different communities,
Uh-huh.
like actual gamers, like FPS gamers, Minecraft, LSF, you know, whatever communities,
Uh huh.
and you're gonna co-host with people that we're friends with,
Uh huh.
and the like 50 people in the audience and their chats are gonna love like the jokes, and
Uh-huh.
everybody else is gonna be so confused. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think there's still like that moment where they get a highlight, like because you know even FPS. There's a winner of that category. That person goes up there. They get to talk. They get to accept their
yeah.
speech. They wait for that. They're rooting for the person that they love. So I think it's gonna be really really cool. I think it's gonna include a lot of people, and it's gonna be.
You should co-host with Forsen.
If Forsen will come, Forsen, you can co-host with me.
That's a huge invitation.
Yeah, that's huge.
He's gonna be
'cause
so excited about that.
He'll love to come. I know we know Forsen. I know you've been asking to come to one of my events. This is your invite. Anyway, it's gonna be early next year, but yeah, it's gonna be huge. I think I was just so sick of watching. I think NIMS is the closest to an In Touch one,
For sure.
but it still doesn't highlight enough people, like individuals, and I like having. I would love to have all these people like together, and so I think it'll be really cool. So we'll see how it goes. But there's still a lot of stuff in progress. But I'm saying it now because then if you see someone copy me, you'll be like, that's Cutie's idea. Stop it. Say, it's already being done.
There you go.
Shut up. So yeah,
That's crazy. That's so exciting.
because I'm putting a deposit on a theater, so you can't. Do not let anyone copy this because money's coming out of my pocket, boys. So a little nervous over here. Speaking of money, do you know my concert yesterday? Just to give an idea of how much events cost, my concert yesterday cost me around $12,000, and I made about $1,000.
You're so dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not. No, it's worth. I mean, you got 25K. You can't quantify that monetarily.
Yeah. But I think how it works though, chat, is like I do it this year, I learn these things, and then next year hopefully I can get a sponsor for it. It's hard because I'm a smaller streamer that puts together these big events, and so it's hard to sell me to sponsors because it's hard to predict how well they're doing.
Chat, it's huge that she did $12,000 sure, right? She does that event, she gets 20,000 concurrents on an hour-long stream, which is fucking insane. Next year, she's like, look, I did this concert, I had this name, and this name here, this was my concurrent viewership. Sponsored again, it's gonna be bigger this year, and she makes back double. Like,
yeah, that's
she's
the goal.
fine.
That's what I'm trying to do. So we'll see.
Dude, you got
tape. Audio viewers, the cleavage. We talked about it. It's all taped up.
didn't hit me up out of pocket. Tara, we would love a sponsor for this podcast. Help.
Tara, help us get a sponsor for this podcast.
We were close. We almost were gonna get a sponsor for this one.
And then Maya decided to swear.
Okay, hold on. It had nothing to do with me swearing. I just hardballed it. Cutie was like, oh yeah, we can do that, and I was like, no.
Yeah, she hardballed it. I should actually. Anyway, we'll figure it out. But I'm going to have a sponsor for the award show, if not multiple sponsors. So
you got
it'll be big. I have to because I literally can't afford it.
Right.
Like I won't have the money. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're working on that. But anyway, I hope you guys are excited for that in the future. Speaking of events and all these award shows you see right now, I'm hoping this will be better than all of them combined.
Someone said, whose idea was it to make this podcast? I think it was mine.
It was Maya's idea.
After that, like, it was really important to me to have a female-run podcast, and when Housewives ended, I was really sad. And I was like, I just think I should. I don't know. I like podcasts. I think they're good. And I think they're fun. I think it's good content occasionally. And I was like, I don't have another person. I don't want to do it with a man. So I was like, I don't have another person in my life that is capable of running podcasts, or that I really feel like pulling teeth to get to show up, you know? That, like, someone that's actually gonna try.
Now you have to show up.
Right. But somebody that's, like, actually gonna try and put an effort, and I was like, it's gotta be Cutie.
I think I've put in okay amount of effort.
You put in a fuck ton of effort. It's been
Well, you have to show up every time. So I try to make up for it by making sure everything's ready.
Yeah, it's been good. Housewives was a really good podcast, you're right.
Housewives was a sick podcast, but it's just so much harder to organize 5 people.
Maya barely speaks, bro.
I'm sorry.
No, that's not true. You guys are so annoying. I remember on Housewives too, just like, it's like you'll go a couple minutes without talking and people are like, good one, Maya, lol. Like, and it's like, there are 5 people here. Like, relax. We're having a very balanced, normal conversation. Please.
Maya, talk more. What do you want to tell me about Maya? I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm wearing Spanx, and it's digging into my thigh.
I'm wearing Spanx, but it's not good. Sorry. I think we should start talking about some raunchy shit because I have now had. But I don't know where to start.
I'm mixing.
Wow! Thank you for the sub.
It's Sid.
Sid.
You met him last night.
Oh my God. Oh, what's up? What's up? Hello. Welcome to the podcast. Thank you for the subs.
Aw, Sid. I love Sid so much.
Okay, Chet. I don't know where to start. We kind of talked about. We talked about a lot of stories last time. talk about the animal sex stream? No. You want to know why? Because every time I bring that up, and I don't know why I do this, because it's failed me 4 times in a row, or 3 times in a row. I start talking about like bedbug sex, or I was like, I can tell you everything about bedbug reproduction. I did it last night at the table.
Yeah, she did it at the table.
Oh god.
I'm always like, Maya,
I did it at the table with like Lud and Hassan and his brother. And I was like,
what'd you do at the table with Lud and Hassan?
I was like, I can tell you about bedbug reproduction. Like, I can tell you so much about it. And I told them, and it's just, most people just don't care as much as I think they do.
I have to walk off cam and pull this out of my thigh. It's digging.
I just think most people are gonna care, like I care, and they never do. So I'm not gonna talk about that. It's 50. She's fine. He's like
so bad.
He thinks you're dying.
Oh, I am dying. It was in my thigh. And so now you have to pull it out of your thigh. And so it's like when you wear a wristband that's too tight. Ow, it's my thigh. Loosey-goosey. Everything's. Plus I'm wearing shorts, so like doubled up. You guys won't get it unless you wear Spanx.
So what is there to talk about?
Oh, Swift.
Are there any segues here? We've talked about. Oh, well, we talked about the vibrator. We can talk about that.
Okay.
I don't like sex toys.
So there's this. You know Goop? Have you heard of Goop?
No.
Goop is the scamming lady. She's a scammer, essentially. Guys, who is Goop ran by?
I don't know what you're talking about. Gwyneth Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow. Yeah, she runs this company called Goop, and it's like just a scam 90% of the time.
Is it lube?
No, it's just it's like a beauty company or something. And she'll be like, put seaweed and dirt on your face and you look 10 years younger. Like, it's a total scam. At one point they were selling like egg whites you put on your vagina to like make like your vagina tighten. And they sold a pussy candle. A candle that smelled like vaginas.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew.
Which I can't imagine smells good.
I saw this TikTok today of this girl that was like, she's been putting her menstrual blood on her face as like a face mask every month, and she was like, it's a way to connect to my like inner woman or whatever. It's like a way to like reconnect with my femininity. And then she was talking about how the patriarchy has forced us to think that menstrual blood was disgusting and like gross and
I think blood
dirty.
is disgusting.
But that's the thing. I was like, I would not put that blood anywhere near my face. Like that's, I just don't think that has to do with. I think that the grossness is that it's very, very close to your anus and your urethra.
I do
that's
think
waste.
I
That's
think
disgusting.
something that men have done, and hear me out, feminist moment, is the fact that like we can make fun of farts and dirty, gross balls, but we can't make any jokes about periods.
That's
Periods are ill and balls are fucking dick cheese is hilarious, but periods are gross.
That's fair. Fair enough. But yeah, anyway, she said that. But we were talking about, what were we talking? Goop scan.
Goop.
Yeah, I would not want a vagina candle. Well, we were talking about sex toys.
No, I'm talking about this because they had this recent episode of Goop where they have these sex doctors that are only legal in California that teach you how to orgasm. If you
What do you mean?
they essentially
like through experimentation.
yes, they like finger you or whatever.
Oh no.
Yeah, but like in a medical way.
No, you can't do that in a medical way, dude. You can't.
They literally
There's no
stand
way.
there and they like navigate stuff and they're like, have you ever felt this before? And the person's like, no. And then they're like, what the heck? So they teach you what you want, what you like, which is very interesting in my opinion.
There are so many variables.
Yeah.
You cannot do that in a control setting. There's no way. Like that. I just like.
They have them like in a doctor's office, and like it's usually like the same gender.
Oh, but that changes everything too.
It's very interesting. That's a lawsuit and a half. Guys, look it up. It's like a physical sex therapist or something like that. They're only legal in California. Yeah. I don't think it's only the same gender. I think like you can like request, but the one I was reading was like the same gender. And like for example, these two like lesbians that have gotten together, they're married and they're like we don't know how to please each other. And so they went to the doctor and the doctor literally showed them. And they were like, wow, I've never had an orgasm like that in my life.
Huh.
Because they just don't know. You don't know because half the stuff you don't even like, you don't know where spots are. You don't know what to look for. They don't teach that. And so they like learn, which is so interesting, I think.
another like feminist moment. It's actually crazy how few women orgasm.
Yeah,
And how
we've talked
many-
about this.
Have we? And
Yeah.
how many men orgasm? The fact that sex, the completion of sex is so traditionally
When the guy's done.
male orgasm.
Yeah.
That is so weird.
Yeah.
That's so weird. Anyway. I don't really fuck with sex toys. I've never really fucked with sex toys. Sammy and her mom took me to get my first sex toy when I was 20.
That's crazy.
20? I think. Yeah, 20.
What'd you get?
Just a vibrator, like a very normal
Yeah.
vibrator. Or no, that's not true.
Oh.
I got my first vibrator when I was 18, and I never used it. And then they took me to get a different one when I was 20.
Did you use it?
I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, like I tried
And you
to
didn't
use
like it?
but I've never picked it up and like by myself and been like, yep, like this is gonna help me right now. Never.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And you know what's also crazy is the first one that I bought. Maybe this is like a really dumb take. I don't know, but it was practically a dick. Like it was practically a dildo.
Wow.
And it was like it was pink. It was like made for women, you know?
Of course.
And I was like, how is this gonna help me?
Yeah.
like this isn't gonna help me at all. Like this isn't a sex toy for women. This is a sex toy for men. Like why?
Yeah.
Anyway, there's my first experience.
Wait, why is this sex toy for men?
Because like for
they
men,
have to use it.
For men to use on women.
Yeah.
But it's not something that I would, if I wasn't dating somebody at the time, would I ever buy that and think this is gonna help me pleasure myself when it's literally just a dildo? No.
Maybe.
Not for me.
Well,
The amount of women that orgasm because of penetrative sex is so small. It's just not for
I
women.
know. So why wouldn't you just get a normal vibrator? Like ones that are like the size of like your thumb.
It also vibrated.
Well, I don't know about all that. I don't know about that.
Everybody's question marking me and I'm super... Did I say something that doesn't make sense?
I would assume if it still vibrates, you could use it.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say
Uh-huh.
is the first sex toy that I ever purchased
Was a big pink
was
dildo
basically
that
like,
vibrates.
yeah, was basically a dildo, which isn't what I needed to orgasm. It wasn't even close. It's like,
Well, yeah, so you don't learn how to orgasm.
yeah, but they marketed it to women. They were like, this is gonna help you, and it was like, no, like this is what men think is gonna help you. and it
No, that's
doesn't.
fair. Okay, I get it now. Because most people do not finish through.
Because of a penis.
A
That's
penis,
not
yeah.
why. Yeah.
Penises actually don't do shit. Let's talk about that.
Honestly, good.
What are penises for? Just babies.
Chat, I'm no like sex therapist, but there are like clitoral orgasms and there are penetrative orgasms, or those aren't the words for them, but it's because of like clitoral stimulation. It's not because of like a penis going in your vagina. It's just like not why you orgasm. So that's what I'm trying to say.
Chat doesn't get it.
I don't think they get it. It's fine.
Chat can't find their shampoo. They can't find a clitoris. It's important for you guys to know.
It just sounded weird. I'm sorry that I phrased it weird.
You phrased it in a way that even confused me.
I'm a
So I
little
was
bit-
like, wait, they're trying to sell it to men?
I'm a little bit tipsy. No, they weren't trying to sell it to much. They were marketing it to women. They're like, this is gonna help you come, but it was basically just a penis.
I mean, there's 10% that does.
10%.
I believe that's what it is. I'm gonna Google it. This is stats we need. Percentage
Hello, Seer.
of women that orgasm from penetration. If you sing it, it sounds less harsh.
My wife tells me there are women, how she has friends who never have, and that still shocks me. You know how many friends I have who have never? So many. So many. It's actually crazy. It makes that, I mean, that shit's crazy to me. Sorry, that was like a lot. That was a lot.
Less
For me.
than 20% of women can orgasm from penetration. Less than 20%. So that means if you have had sex with 10 of them, 10 women, only 2 of them could have orgasms from your dick. Which means if you didn't touch the clit from the other 8, they faked it. And women are great at faking it.
That's not what that means.
Because you can't tell.
You can do other stimulation while
Well-
you're inserted.
Well, I'm just saying, if they didn't do anything, there's a bunch of people in chat that don't know that. A bunch of people in chat don't know when it's fake.
That's true. It's very, yeah. It's a thing that happens all the time.
Yeah. Well, 80% is insured orgasm from, or 78%, and then there's 2% that just can't orgasm, I guess. Insured,
Fucking way. It's only 2%.
they can't orgasm at all.
Or they can't, or they have not.
Can't.
Okay.
Can't. There's only 2%. So it's 78%
Sex ed. Welcome to the Sex Ed podcast.
from clitoral stimulation, and then 20% can, less than 20% is, I don't know, I googled. I don't know if it's right, but I thought it was even less than 20% to be honest, but
Yeah, same.
20% seems pretty high. But have you heard about the NASA had an experiment where they were trying to learn about dolphins?
Okay.
You'll love this, Animal Girl.
I love dolphins.
Let me get this straight actually. I want to quote this so I don't mess it up.
Dolphins fuck everything.
Yeah. So, let me see.
My sister-in-law worked or she was in the Navy, and she trained dolphins for the Navy to tag bombs.
To tag bombs? What?
Mhm.
How?
I don't know how
What does
the
that
training
mean?
works. They train the dolphins to go tag bombs underwater for the Navy.
In 1960s, Margaret Levatt was part of a NASA's funded project to communicate with dolphins. And so she worked with a dolphin named Peter. And eventually, she would start, like, jerking off Peter the dolphin.
Like as reinforcement.
As like, she said he was sexually coming of age and a bit naughty. And that led to her eventually living with Peter 24 hours a day. She would stay at like work and like live with Peter. And would like jerk him off every day. And like said she like kind of fell in love with Peter. And once they figured this out,
Wait. Oh. She said she fell in love with him?
yes. Yes.
It's too bad that she said that.
Yes.
Because I was kind of backing her for a second.
Why?
Because I was like, dude, if you're gonna have a single dolphin in captivity that you want to perform like a number of behaviors, like that juvenile dolphin is gonna have needs, and like you could use sexual like reinforcement for an animal like that.
What?
Dolphins fuck everything.
So you're saying like you want the dolphin to jump through a hoop, his prize is getting jerked off?
For all animals,
Oh my
For
god,
all-
what the hell?
Look, for all
Yeah.
animals that you train, you work on you find their primary and their secondary
That's what I do with
reinforcers.
Ludwig.
Yeah, their primary and their secondary
Good
reinforcers.
job, you got me flowers today.
Right. For a dolphin, dolphins are extremely sexual, extremely hormonal, especially when they're coming of age. If you have one, like their primary reinforcer may be sexual.
Okay, so what happened is she was like very empathetic, and she could tell essentially when the dolphin would essentially she could tell when the dolphin needed to let one out is how it started.
Okay.
Like so she what her dream was to teach the dolphin how to speak English. So that's where it all came from. So when he learned something good and like he'd get antsy or whatever, she'd jerk him off. She said that every single night everyone else would get in their cars and drive away, and there's this big brain floating around all night, and it amazed me that people kept leaving, and she felt like she was wrong. She was like, oh, this big dolphin brain that's like getting so smart or whatever, so she'd stay there 24 hours a day to watch Peter. Let me find more information. One second. Essentially, they would hang out to the point that she started questioning why she was even there, kind of. But she was convinced that the dolphin learned how to say M, which was M for Margaret, and she was like, "Wow, this is amazing."
Oh,
and
that's
she
such a red flag.
she felt like the dolphin like was learning to love her.
You know what that sounds like, chat? Some bitch being like, "My horse would never love me. My horse loves me."
And at one point, people suggested that Peter needed to go in a tank with another dolphin to socialize with other dolphins, and she said no. She was like jealous, like Margaret.
Huh?
Yeah.
Where was this? What facility?
NASA.
NASA.
This was a NASA program in the
NASA
60s.
allowed a human female to romantically get involved with a dolphin.
They didn't realize. Okay. So this is what happens. Dolphins get sexual urges, said the vet Andy Williamson, who looked after the animal's health at the dolphin house. I'm pretty sure Peter had plenty of thoughts along those lines. And then Margaret said, Peter liked to be with me. He would rub himself on my knee or my foot or my hand, and at first I would put him downstairs with the girls, she said. But transporting Peter's downstairs proved to be disruptive to the lessons that faced with his frequent arousals, and it seemed easier for Margaret to relieve his urges herself manually. I allowed that, she says. I wasn't uncomfortable with it. As long as it wasn't rough, it would just become a part of what was going on.
Stop. You're making it hold on. This dolphin was not penetrating this woman. Can we be very clear about that?
He was rubbing on her foot or thigh or leg or something.
Right. It wasn't
hand.
like they were like having sex.
It would become a part of what was going on, like an itch. Let's just get rid of it, scratch it, and move on. And that's how it seemed to work out. It wasn't private. People could observe it, she said. For Margaret, it was a precious thing, which was always carried out with great respect. Peter was right there, and he knew that I was right there, she continues. It wasn't sexual on my part. Sensuous, perhaps. It seemed to me that it made our bond closer, not because of the sexual activity, but because of the lack of having to keep breaking. And really, that's all it was. I was there to get to know Peter, and I was a part of Peter.
Oh my god!
Innocent as they were, Margaret's sexual encounters with Peter would ultimately overshadow the whole experiment. When the story appeared in the Hustler magazine in the 1970s, Margaret said, I'd never even heard of Hustler. I think there were 2 magazines on the store, in the store at the island that they worked at. I went to one, and I found the story of my name and Peter in a drawing. And the drawing is her underwater, completely nude, holding Peter.
Stop. Oh.
Yeah,
My
so that was in a
God.
magazine that interviewed her about
Somebody
her.
drew that?
Yeah,
Ew.
yeah.
Ew. Ew.
Margaret bought all the copies she could find, but the story was out there and continues to circulate. It was a bit uncomfortable, she acknowledges. It was the worst experiment in the world I've read.
Stop asking for the link, you sick fucks.
Blah, 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 blah. Eventually NASA hears about this and puts an end to it, right? And they're like, this isn't okay, like, what the heck is going on? It was something to do with LSD, too. I think they were testing LSD on the dolphins.
What?
Yeah. It's a very long story, but eventually NASA breaks it apart, right? And they say, okay, Peter needs to go somewhere else. Margaret, you're going to a different study. So they put Peter, like, at SeaWorld or a different sanctuary or something. Not SeaWorld, fuck SeaWorld. But they put Peter somewhere else. And he kills himself. Drowns himself. The dolphin.
It doesn't feel fair.
Yeah.
I've never heard of anything like that in marine mammal.
He did it.
I definitely cannot confirm that was intentional.
They I couldn't keep Peter. If he'd been a cat or a dog, then maybe not a dolphin, Margaret said. It was a far cry from freedom. At the Miami lab, he held captive. Peter quickly deteriorated.
I've never read about anything regarding suicide in
I got a phone call from John Lilly, who was the supervisor of the study, she recalls. John called me to tell me He said Peter had committed suicide. Dolphins are not automatic air breathers like we are, he explained. Every breath is a conscious effort. If life becomes too unbearable, the dolphins just take a breath and they sink to the bottom. They don't take the next breath.
There's a lot of parts of that story that would lead people to want that kind of ending because it's very dramatic. I have not read anything about dolphins being capable of doing that. They're very intelligent, so there is a chance, but
Peter was in love.
I would be surprised if it was something other than some other sort of complication.
Peter was in love, and it was Romeo or Juliet. And Margaret kind of a hoe for not following up.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because I was, honestly, for a bit, I was like, you know what, like, I get it, like, I
You
can
saw
get
it from a
behind it, it's
scientist's
fine.
perspective.
I've had monkeys jack
I'm
off
not
on me before.
Her pregnant. Oh, what? Someone in chat said I was pregnant, and then I heard monkeys jacking off on you. What happened?
Not even... I've had a lot of animals masturbate on me. Yeah. I've had lots of parrots get really hormonal in their breeding season. And so parrots will, like, rub their cloaca on you.
What's a cloaca?
One hole for everything. Poop, pee, like, insemination, all of it.
Wow.
Lots of parrots will do that. I've had a spider monkey jack off on me a number of times, not just a single time. That was a female spider monkey too. But the thing is, I mean, when she starts doing that, you can't take her off, or she'll rip the shit out of you. You know, like she'll just bite you. She was nuts. The first time she did it, I was like, no, like get off me. This is too much, because I knew exactly what she was doing, and she just bit my rib cage, and I was like, all right. I mean, there's not much you can do about it. Primates are really strong, and like very strong-willed. So you just kind of have to let it happen. But you also have to make like really, really strong efforts to keep that relationship separate. Because once you engage in a hormonal relationship with an animal, training that animal is it's a whole other thing.
That's some crazy shit. That's some crazy shit none of us knew about until right now.
Yeah, unlike
None of us asked that question ever before in our life.
you need to realize it doesn't need to be a sexual thing on both ends.
That monkey had a dead-ass crush on Maya.
It was a female monkey.
Yeah, she's lesbian.
She was just in heat.
She is a lesbian
very
hot for you.
It's very biological. Very biological.
Biological, yeah. She was bi. She
Her
loved
name
you.
was Maya too.
Where is she now?
At the zoo. In
Visit her.
I haven't seen her in forever.
She misses you.
She's 30. Older than me.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. I've had lots of animals. It's just something that you get used to. It's not like a personal thing. It's a very biological.
Unless you are Peter and Margaret.
Right.
They were in
bizarre.
love.
I don't know how to feel about that. No, I do know how to feel
I'll
about
send you
that.
the article and you can read it all.
Great.
But it is fascinating. It is fascinating. And as soon as I heard this story, I thought to myself, I need to send that to Maya.
Wonderful.
And so I told you it, and I didn't remember all the facts, but I checked to make sure. And yeah, go to her. Someone said, go to her, Maya. You're one who loved the monkey.
Relax.
Oh, that's crazy. Wow.
Primates are weird. Primates are... Jane Goodall observed chimps doing stripteases for each other.
Jane Goodall she was sick with it, wasn't
Yeah,
she?
she's no joke. She studied chimps.
She like lived out there.
She lived with them. She witnessed...
Oh, Hassan rated us.
Aww. What's up? I was...
Racist. We finish each other's sentences here. It's a good podcast.
Graceful be the heart. With this silver, I bless the mixture that will recover your spilled blood. Bring me the quick.
the bones, thank you. Bring them.
Earlier we were talking about Lunchables, and I talked about my favorite Lunchable, and it was the one with the crackers in it. So, welcome to your stream.
I hope you guys had fun reading LSF comments today. The funny thing is Hassan is like the sweetest little muffin.
Is he? Hassan scares the f*** out of me.
Really?
Yes.
In what way?
He's a huge dude.
I mean, he's tall, but like, he's sweet.
Is he?
Yeah, he's so sweet.
He's not mean, but he's not.
Oh, he is
I wouldn't say he's like sweet.
Oh my god, he is so sweet.
Okay,
Let
really.
me tell you, every single time I see Hassan, he gives me a hug, like, he's like, aww, he like squeezes me tight. He's like,
No, you know what Hassan does when he hugs?
what?
He hugs and he closes his fists behind
What?
on the other side of the person. I've seen him do it.
Oh no.
His fists are closed like a fucking man. I don't even know what that means, but it's like, hey, what's up? What is that? Why do men do that? Why can't you just like, hello?
Well, I don't know what. I think he's so sweet. Hassan is so
I have
sweet.
to pee so bad.
You're gonna leave me with this? You're
Yes.
gonna leave me with the Haas frogs?
With the what?
They're called Haas. You know nothing. Do you stream on Twitch?
No, and I deleted Reddit, so I actually don't know
She
what
did
any of
delete
you guys are
Reddit.
talking about. There's a cord right here.
Don't step over it. Ugh, we're out of.
You know
We're out of
Really?
wine. I mean, we can open another one. We have literally bottles in here.
We should do another one. I didn't realize I dropped those until I got out. Okay, I'm gonna be quick.
This wine is not called Naomi, like she said. It's like Miomi. It's Miomi. I don't know what she said. What a jerk. Hassan didn't even rate us.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, he's racist.
Yeah. I've been saying that. What the heck?
Oh, it's cold out there.
It is really cold out there. It's nice in here, but it's not too warm. But it's kind of cold. We're in a shed. For those of you who don't know.
She-shed.
It's a she shed.
Oh shit! I meant to delete that. Not
You
type
typed
it.
F.
No, it was an accident.
You idiot.
It wasn't an F. It was a hashtag.
Oh. Come here, kitty kitty. Jersey. Come here. Okay. What? How many hours are we at?
It's 7:15.
What time do we start? Oh, we start at 5? What a good podcast. Should we order food?
What?
I'm hungry. We don't have charcuterie.
Ah! It's cold.
My boob is not out. Stop. This is tape. I will say one of the worst things I get when I wear, because I have small boobs, so I can wear pasties, I can wear cutlets or whatever. People in chat out themselves as a virgin when they're like, her nipple's showing, and it's a pasty. I'm like, yeah. Sorry you've never had a girlfriend. That's not my problem. Thank you, coming in. Audio listeners, Maya's meowing at the cat. Because the cat has come up next to her. I think this is the part where audio listeners stop listening. Because they're like, oh, they're drunk, bye.
Oh no.
Audio listeners,
not
keep
drunk.
listening.
Wait,
I'm
this is
buzzed.
actually-
What? Oh my god, why are you
I don't
like
believe
this?
you.
I've had 2 glasses.
I don't believe you. I think no, but my glass is way bigger. Admit it. Chat, admit. This is empty.
Yes.
Chat, admit it. My glass is way bigger than
Your
Cutie's.
glass is bigger,
Hold your
but-
glass up.
I know your
Oh
glass is bigger.
my god! That is.
You didn't have to use that glass.
You said. Pardon?
You could have chosen this glass. I just grabbed 2 glasses. One of them was red, one of them was white.
The glass was in front of me.
You could
It
have
was
chosen
my
whichever
glass.
one you
I was
wanted.
gonna swap glasses. I'm not a bitch. She set me
I'm
up.
being gaslit. I grabbed 2 glasses out.
Oh my god! I don't.
I grabbed 2
gaslight
glasses
you.
out of the. I grabbed 2 glasses out of the cupboard.
You're gaslighting me.
You're
Somebody-
gaslighting
somebody,
me.
Literally, somebody said you're gaslighting me.
You're gaslighting me.
You
Chat.
wanna know the worst of no.
I grabbed 2 glasses out of the cupboard. One was a red glass, one of them was white. I was like, it doesn't matter. We're not fancy. We don't know the difference. And I come in here and I set them down. You could have picked if you were picky. You chose the red glass.
You wanna know one of the worst times I've ever been gaslit?
Yeah.
No.
I don't understand gaslighting.
You don't?
Unfortunately, I really don't get it. And so it confuses me when people say gaslighting.
Gaslighting is when you like
You convince someone of a lie, essentially.
yeah, or like you do something fucked up and then they react to it or something, and you're like, it's because of you that you feel that way, you know?
Yeah, it
You
really
make 'em
confuses
feel,
me.
You make them feel crazy, yeah.
The phrase gaslighting really confuses me.
Chat. One time, I had a friend who, this was back in college, I had a friend who was like my best friend, and I was seeing this guy, and I ended it with the guy, and I was like, to my friend, I was like, can you make sure that he's okay? Because I thought he was going to be really sad. And so that night, she went to make sure he was okay, and she made out with him in the hot tub, told him to pretend that it was me, and then tried to have sex with him, and he said no. And then when I confronted her about it, and I was like, yo, like, that's not cool at all. Like, why'd you do that? She gaslit me. And she was like, I was trying to help both of you because he was never gonna get over you until he got under somebody else. Like, it was helping both of you. And I was like, oh.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Merciful be.
That's probably
The
the
minute-
worst I've ever been gaslit. Maybe. Probably, it's not the worst,
No.
but that's one of the times that I've been
Find
gaslit.
the next.
Yeah.
Find the next child.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Speaking of crazy stories, this person I know, this boy I know,
Okay.
I'm friends with him for a very long time. We went to high school together.
No, it was not Tatiana.
We went to high school together, and he used to go to our friend's house. And I'm totally lying about a lot of details in the story because this is not even my story. This is a friend's story that they told me, and I just want to keep this story, whatever.
Okay.
But if, in case that friend listens, I am spilling your story and keeping it very vague and pretending it's my story. So, because it's a good story. So I'm friends with this person, me and, you know, this other girl. Let's call her Samantha. I love Samantha. Me and Samantha were really good friends with a boy's name. Anyway, we're playing Mad Libs now. Me and Brett, Samantha, we're all really good friends. We grow up together, whatever, we're super good friends. We keep going to Samantha's house. Samantha's mom is kind of hot. Like, she's just a MILF, you know, and we don't mind her. We're just like, oh, she's great. 5 years later, we were sitting at dinner. All of a sudden, Samantha's mom is sending nudes to Brett. Like, on Instagram. Samantha does not know this, by the way. And we're like, what the f-? So we're out of high school, so it's legal. It's totally legal. And she's saying things, like she's trying to talk dirty to Brett, and she's saying things, and I can see all this. Samantha doesn't know, but I can see. She's saying things like, when you used to come over, did you think I was hot? And he's like,
Dude.
mind you, she is newly divorced. So at least she's not like... It is sad, is what it is.
My friend, when she was making out with the guy, she was literally, she was like, just pretend that I'm Maya. Like, look at me and think that I look like Maya right now. Like, just pretend that I'm her. You'll be fine. You'll be okay. Dude, that's crazy.
Pretend. Anyway, in that situation,
Sister,
if you
I know
are Brett,
you are
you
there.
never tell Samantha,
Even
right?
if I
Until
can't
you're her
see
stepdad,
you,
then you're like,
hear my plea. After your departure, it is now my turn to prove I'm deserving of our captain's trust. I will not fail, Chrysanta. And may the greatest of pains devour me if I let the penitents through this door. On your guard, penitent one. sister, I know after your departure, and may the greatest of pains on your gut.